Hello, everybody. Welcome to the students, to the alumni, to the faculty, staff, and friends who are with us today. It is so great to see the senior class as they about to launch on this next phase of their journey. And before I say another word, I'd just like to offer them a really, really robust welcome. Can we welcome this wonderful senior class? I certainly didn't always expect to be here. Did you? Very few people spend their childhoods dreaming of becoming college presidents. In fact, the more they know about the job, the less they're likely to dream about it. I bet most of you didn't know you would go to Williams when you were kids either, or live in the mountains of Western Massachusetts, or maybe go to college at all. I've been thinking a lot about the unexpectedness of life. Almost a year ago, at my induction speech, I stood here at this very podium and talked about my mother, Ruth Blumenstock Mandel, who was born in Austria in 1939, a very inopportune time and place for a Jewish baby to be born. And she left on the last boat to carry Jewish emigres away before the Nazi closed German ports to Jews, so they could focus on enslaving and murdering them instead. Via a long and winding path, Ruth wound up in New Jersey, where she became a faculty member at Rutgers and was one of the founding members of a center for the study of women in politics. This was not the expected outcome for a Jewish baby from Austria in 1939. My mother is in her 80s now, and as I look back on her unexpected and oh so fortunate life, it also leads me to think about our lives, yours and mine. To the seniors in this room, wherever you've come from, I doubt very much that 18 years ago, or even maybe 5 years ago, you'd have guessed you'd be here. I can't imagine that many statisticians or computer modelers or psychics would have predicted it either. Life is more complicated and interesting than that. And yet, here we all are. So, what now? I take great joy in our being here together. It seems to me that the liberal arts have played a particular role in that convergence, and I really want to celebrate that fact with you today. Just as 80 years ago, baby Ruth had the good fortune to be carried onto a ship and away from danger. In her case, unpredictable outcomes were literally life-saving. And while I hope your own lives prove less imperiled, unpredictability may end up being part of our salvation too. There are many forces right now that are in fact pushing us towards predictability and conformity. Economic pressures push you towards courses and majors that seem to promise employment. Our politically polarized culture constantly requires you to choose sides. Technology plays a role too. An acquaintance of mine refers to this as the Spotify effect. He noticed that if you're listening to a male artist, the app recommends other male artists. If you're listening to female artists, you'll be steered to other women. It does the same by race. Many technologies use similar algorithms, invisibly steering us toward life choices and away from differences. Consider the counterexample. If you listen to a black woman classical pianist followed by a white rapper, Spotify can't handle it. It doesn't know what to tell you to do. The same pattern is true of our choices of career and neighborhood and friends. Many forces in life are going to steer you toward living around and socializing with people of roughly the same income level, political views, and religious beliefs, as well as skin color. Well, today I'm inviting you to reject the tyranny of the algorithm. Let's enjoy difference and variety, and let's celebrate the unpredictable. In so doing, you will in fact embrace all that the liberal arts have to offer you. In fact, the term liberal arts itself is a reference to freedom. These were the domains of knowledge that the ancient Greeks believed every free person ought to master. The liberal arts were understood as the liberating arts. So here's my first hope for you, that in your senior year, you will direct that freedom to the liberty of your mind. Williams is the rare place that gives you the right tools for the job, but it's absolutely on you to use them. To put it another way, this is your year to unleash the potential of human unexpectedness. Consider the case of winter study. You're at one of the very few schools in the world that stops our academic clock so you can spend 6 weeks learning to fix a car or track wildlife. We do this because at its best, such opportunities introduce you to entirely new ways of thinking and seeing, ways that may become handy later, even if you never replace a tie rod or track a bobcat through the snow. But if you can get up the nerve to sing in front of a group of classmates, for example, you'll be fine when you have to make a speech to a room of potential backers for your business, or, for example, speak to a room of hundreds of graduating seniors. You'll know the joy of doing something new, and you'll know that failure isn't fatal. It can even be a chance to laugh. There's great joy and freedom in that laughter. I do it all the time. We need such joy now more than ever. It's important for our mental health, it makes us more creative, and it empowers us to achieve more for ourselves and those around us. 50 years ago to the month, one of my predecessors, Jack Sawyer, stood before a convocation of Williams seniors and said the following: "A significant part of our present disquiet may lie in our failure to have understood the full depth and nature of the transition this society is going through. Fleetingly at first, but with increasing insistence, has come recognition that abundance has not produced and will not produce the promised land. Perhaps more important is the dawning truth that affluence in aggregate terms does not itself satisfy deep-seated human ideals of distributive justice and meaningful individual lives." 50 years later, I'm here to tell you the same is still true. For you, what that means is that meaning may come more from the unexpected paths that you follow rather than those that you thought you were on. Seniors, this is your time of intellectual freedom. Break away from the herd. You can see I've been here a year, I'm already using cow metaphors. Williams, caper, frolic, have fun. And I mean academically, of course. I'm sure you will have fun outside the classroom, but take the whimsy into your studies too. We already know that liberal arts graduates are more likely than their peers to take unexpected paths and change careers. Indeed, some authors are even starting to challenge the cliche of career as a passion. Like an algorithm, they say, it just funnels us into the Spotify vortex, the path dependency of further options based on the choices we've already made, nudging each of us invisibly but surely into the herd. Of course, this can be a good thing. We all need to be able to support ourselves, but the good news is that as a Williams graduate, over time, you are likely to match or exceed the earnings of your professional school contemporaries. More importantly, in my view, you're likely to surpass them in reported life satisfaction. You'll be a complex and efficacious human being and member of society. That's the gift of liberal arts as intellectual freedom, and the meaning that you can get from this experience here at Williams College. So finish your schoolwork, yes, and visit the Center for Career Exploration, also, yes. But I urge you to journey some way into the unexpected this year as well. Enroll in a subject you're a little afraid of. If you're an art major, take Intro Russian. If you're fluent in Russian, learn African dance. If you're a dancer, take statistics. Learn about heteroskedasticity. Or just stand in front of an audience and try to pronounce heteroskedasticity. I practiced that a lot and I still got it wrong. What's your version of that moment? The thing that maybe excites you but also scares you just a little bit. I urge you to find it this year. You'll become more liberal, by which I mean more free. And that freedom has personal and professional and societal value. Seniors, there are many paths you can take, conventional or otherwise. Just know that whatever road you choose, it probably won't lead you quite where you think it will. An education in the liberating arts produces uncertain outcomes, but uncertainty is a virtual synonym for possibility. In a time of economic, political, and technological hurting, that possibility is precious. We each have the ability, and thanks to William's considerable power, to change ourselves or allow ourselves to be changed by experiences beyond our expectations. To take joy in your present time at Williams is to discover your full self in ways that may also lead to surprising and wonderful futures. That's a process of discovery I wish for each of you this year. I look forward to rejoining you here at Baccalaureate to reflect on those adventures. Thank you.